How do you convey expectations of work, learning objectives, and how learning will be assessed?
Give that to me one more time.
How do you convey expectations of work, learning objectives, and how learning will be assessed?
Well, partly this is a process that begins, at the beginning of their high school career. Every summer they see, all right, that's enough. Sorry, let's start this again. I'm going to start again. There you go. Okay, so partly this is a process that really begins at the start of their high school career. Every spring they see seniors give their senior presentations. Every fall they hear seniors propose what they're going to do for their projects. And so the students grow up with this idea, right, that this is a very rigorous and deep undertaking. And then in terms of working directly with them, I meet them in junior seminar in the spring of their junior year, and we spend 2 months basically going over what their initial ideas are for a senior project, how that might look in terms of their final presentation and portfolio, and we go over rubrics which we sometimes redesign together, rubrics for the presentation in the portfolio and the project proposal.
Thank you. How do you identify and develop ideas for a project-based learning activity?
Well, it really depends on, which activity. For senior projects, part of the process is that the seniors themselves have to identify what they do. And sometimes that can be the hardest part for them. They're so worried about wasting this opportunity and making a long decision that I've had seniors who got all the way to October and they still haven't been able to commit to something because it's such a huge thing. For projects in my classes, it's more often that I'm identifying the project and getting them to do it, or offering them, an option of 3 choices maybe.
And what does a typical project plan include?
A senior project plan will include the basic idea for a project. It will include who might be their mentor, because for a senior project we do encourage an outside expert to be their mentor. It will include the practical steps, how will they pay for it, what will they do during their time, how much time will it take, they break down the calendar for that project. And then they put in an essential question, which, if you like, is the final goal, which is the thing that they want to answer. And so that's how a senior project breaks down.
And how do students implement their projects?
It's a long process. Basically the thinking starts with the junior seminar. When they come back from summer break, and we're hoping that through the summer they've been working on it and they come back basically ready to hit the ground. That probably doesn't happen in 50% of the cases, but we have a senior seminar, we meet every day, and basically it's step by step. They say, this is what I want to do, and they may start with no idea about, how to begin, and that's my job to facilitate as their senior advisor. And so I'll give them people to call or to write to, and gradually it's like building blocks, we build it from there.
Okay. And how do you document and report project findings?
Well, they usually keep a daily or a weekly blog or journal. There's a lot of videotaping and audio taping, and it depends on what the project is, because almost every single project has a product of some kind that goes with it. And so, we monitor their findings as they go, and then those findings and whatever their experiences have been are put together in a senior portfolio at the end of the project, which is a documentation of what they've done.
And then there's a presentation at the end?
And there's an hour-long presentation where they usually present a PowerPoint or video, and they present artifacts, and they speak usually for about 45 minutes and then take questions.
Okay. And how are projects evaluated?
They're evaluated at various stages. So they're evaluated by the seniors themselves, who will agree that a senior is ready to go forward and present. Then each senior is matched with a teacher who will help them practice their presentation and help them refine their presentation. And so that teacher kind of evaluates them in the sense that that teacher won't allow them to go forward, right, unless they're ready. And then finally, when they get to the presentation stage, the entire high school votes on whether that project met the standard of a Harmony Senior project.
Interesting. Have you ever had one not be voted through, or typically by that time they're done?
Usually, but we've had plenty that have been stopped from presenting.
Ah, okay.
You know, that you said you need to do this, that, you know, you may need to wait till September because it needs more work. You know, that kind of
Okay. Well, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Does that tell you what you need to know?
Yeah.
Yes.
Or maybe once more about, do they have a kind of self-evaluation for their project at the end of the project? After presentation or after final project, do they have a kind of reflection or something?
Their reflection. Well, partly their reflection is supposed to be in their portfolio. When they come, because tomorrow they're coming back from their, you know, they come, it's their official return. They come back in tomorrow lunchtime, and we will meet on Wednesday for a long classroom period, and we go around and each of the seniors reflects on what they've been doing for the last 2 or 3 months. So they get several opportunities. There's that opportunity where they're sharing out what's happened since they've been gone. Then there's the opportunity in the portfolio, you know, and then of course the presentation itself is a reflection on that is their reflection on the entire project. Yes.
Is there ever disappointment at the stage when they come back that because maybe something went in a different direction from what they thought it would be, and then what do you do to help them put that in perspective?
Well, usually that happens before they come back.
Okay.
Because usually they contact me and they say, I can't answer my essential question. The conditions have changed and I need to change the question. And so they have to resubmit the question to family meeting for a vote. Or they've lost their mentor. I mean, there's all kinds of things that can go wrong, and usually that's my job to kind of help them through.
Guide it through.
Yeah.
What is the family meeting again?
Well, because you don't have one in ECP. No. Family meeting is when the whole high school, both the students and the staff, get together once a week. And it's basically the main governing body for the high school. And that's family meeting votes on their project proposal to begin with. Right. And they vote on any changes to that proposal.
Got it. Okay. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Contact me if you need anything else.
We will.